This video is going to display 10 items. They're not going to be perfect for every single zone. They're not going to be perfect for every single person, but they're going to be 10 things to avoid, or at least think about avoiding when you're out here doing DoorDash orders. I want to go through all 10 items. I'll explain them as I go through them. It may be a little lengthy. I will try to shorten it up to save you guys time and save you heartache. So let's get to it right now. First of all, let's talk about the base pay that DoorDash pays drivers in most markets, which is $2 per order, maybe $3 an order in some markets. But in the market I work in Wichita, Kansas, it's $2 per order on the base pay. So when you see orders that equal $2, you know there's no tip on those. And I want you to consider not taking those ever and thinking that you're gonna receive a cash tip. You may get one cash tip out of 100 offers on those. You may never see a cash tip. And I just don't think it's worth your time to think that you're gonna get there and get lucky with a cash tip. So just avoid those orders. Not gonna be worth your time whatsoever. Also, next to that would be low tip offers. So if you know your base pay is $2 and the offer says $4, you're only getting a $2 tip. So taking a $4 order when the $2 tip is there might be something to consider not taking ever, just because you know that there's going to be better offers coming to you than that $4 order. Plus, that low tip customer really isn't understanding what you're actually doing for them. And I actually don't think they appreciate enough what drivers are doing for them. So avoid no tip and low tip offers. The number two thing to avoid is any offer that's going to pay you less than $1 per mile. So if an order is $6 and you have to drive 6 miles, that's an order to really hesitate on and consider not taking. Anything below that, $6 for 6.5, 7 miles, those are orders you do not want to take. You are not actually making any money on those orders. When it costs 58 cents per mile to operate your vehicle, and that is the new standard here in 2024, around 58 cents on the average per vehicle to operate per mile, and you take an order that is sub $1 per mile, you are actually making pennies on the dollar. So you're wasting your time, you're not earning any money, and you're burning through your vehicle, and you won't have any money at the end of the day to pay for repairs and things needed to continue operating your business. So anything under $1 per mile is a no-go order. Stay away from those offers. Number three on the list is avoid hotspots. Hotspots are misunderstood, and hotspots really aren't there for your benefit. Typically, they're not going to be the best pay offers. Instead, just learn your market and learn which restaurants are busy, what times of day they're busy, where to go throughout the lunch or the dinner period, maybe the afternoon, what places actually have business going on at different times of the day, and know your market as you grow in this business and start to know where to park and where to move to throughout the day. Don't worry about the hot spots. Definitely do not drive across town to catch up to a hot spot hoping to get that order. Not going to be a great strategy for you. You will find yourself frustrated. You'll find yourself not getting orders like you would like to. Number four thing to avoid is taking long mileage orders unless they're going to pay you $2 a mile and they also drop you off in a part of the city that has other restaurants around them. These orders typically take much more time to complete due to the drive time, and you want to make sure that you're ending up in a location that you're familiar with, that has restaurants around it, and can continue offering you good orders. You do not want to take orders that are long mileage below $2 a mile and end up in a part of the city that you don't know, you don't understand, and you don't feel comfortable with. So make sure you avoid long mileage offers unless they're paying you the right amount of money and you end up in a good part of the city that you know. Number five that I have is taking offers that send you out of your zone. All of us have zones that have those neighborhoods or those little communities outside of them that people can actually use the DoorDash platform to order food on. And then we are asked to pick up the food and deliver it to those people. But if you want to continue making good earnings and you want to continue being efficient, you need to avoid taking orders that go out of your zone, causing you to have to drive out and then drive back, the boomerang effect, whether the pay is low or high, to go outside of your zone. Number 6 that I have kind of goes along with the outside of the zone type conversation, but it's actually within the zone, and they're actually what I call dead zones in your zone. So these would be neighborhoods that do not have any restaurants around them. You end up going into these neighborhoods and then driving all the way back to a zone where there are restaurants, causing you again to have to go in and out. So the mileage, the efficiency isn't there. There's nothing to connect you to another order, leaves you not making the money that you need to make. Number 7 thing to avoid are restaurants that have long wait times. Those can be restaurants like Sonic, where you pull up, you've got to push the little red button, you've got to let them know you're there, then you have to wait for them to bring you the food. Sonic typically takes twice as long to bring out the food, and some Sonics will not make your food until you arrive. So that would be one actually particular restaurant to avoid. Also, pizza restaurants typically have longer wait times due to the nature and time it takes to make pizza. If it's a brick oven pizza restaurant, they may only have enough space for a few pizzas to cook them. You'll show up, your pizza may not be in the oven. It's going to take 5 to 10 minutes in the oven. Then you're going to wait for them to box it up for you to get out the door. So restaurants that have longer wait times due to the nature of their operation are things to think about and avoid. Also, restaurants that are busy during particular times of day. Some restaurants are heavily populated during the lunch period and heavily populated during the dinner period. So those restaurants are ones that you need to make note of, and you need to think about avoiding those restaurants during those very busy periods. Number 8 on my list is restaurants that won't start the order until you arrive. These type of restaurants are going to slow you down severely, and the earnings you receive from those orders most likely won't make up for the loss of time. You need to make note of those type of restaurants that are not going to start your order until you arrive and avoid them at all costs. Don't be fooled and drive 5 miles across town to that restaurant thinking, oh, they'll work on it by the time I get there, it'll be ready. No, they won't. If they continually do that where they don't start it until you show up, you need to mark them off your list as restaurants to go to. Number 9 on the list may not happen very often, but we still have some particular restaurants when they're on low staff or precautionary measures that they only allow for drive-through pickup, and these orders must be avoided. If you have to wait in the drive-through line, let's say at like Popeye's Chicken, you don't want to take that order. This order will take you 30 minutes up to an hour, potentially longer due to the wait time, and this is just not efficient at all for drivers. Mark somewhere in your mind which restaurants continue to force you to go through the drive-through for pickups and get them off of your list as restaurants you use. And last but not least, avoid Dollar General, Walgreens, and ALDI orders. These orders will take you much more time than expected to shop, to stand in line, to pay, to load, and to deliver. Their pay is not typically that good either. So avoid these type of orders and you will thank me later when you do. I hope that this video makes you think more about what you're doing as a DoorDash driver. Hopefully you can continue to be successful and learn and grow. Have a good day.